Assalamualaikum. Hi, welcome back to another video of Equation. So this video is all about creating database. Database? Yeah, room database in Android using Java. So now I am creating four fragments over here and its UI, which is login, sign up, note, create note and list of notes. So here are the four fragments over here connected with each other, and here is a navigation graph in which I wrote some code. So now it's trying to add a griddle dependency, and for this we will go to Chrome or any browser and search roomdb. The very first link we will click, and then we'll copy these dependency. Now we will add it into Gradle file, and by mistake I just copied the Kotlin version. So just don't worry, just do it as def. The val value is converted into def, and now let's just reorganize it, and after that we will sync this project. So now we will create a package which is known as database, a separate package over here. So I'm renaming it as a database, and in this database we will create few files. The very first file is user, because we are creating user to sign up and login. So now after creating user, what we will do is annotate it with entity. What is entity? Entity is a table in which user have some columns. So the very first column we are writing over here is, so this is a primary key column which is id. So I am using an id column which has a value of a string. So we will correct it later, but right now I am creating id column which is of a string. Then the next is column info, in which we can change the table name and in which the data pass or the parameter have different name. But when we are using default value, means the table name will be this, like username. So I am giving over here the variable as name, and now I copy paste user email, user password and username. So there are four columns in user: id, username, user email and password. Now let's create getter setter, and our table is completed. So the next table is note, and let's add annotation entity and creates our first column which is id. So in this table I will create three columns. The first is id, second one will be note or title, and the third one will be note. So let me just correct it. The table column name will be title over here, and let's just copy paste and create note. Now getter setter, and the table is completed. Create another Java class and name it as database helper. So extend it with room database, and this is the helper class which is now created, and we will make it as an abstract class. Now here I am creating a method of instance to get the instance of database instantly, and here I am just creating the instance variable of room database class which is database helper, and rename it as instance. The class instance will get from this variable. So now let's just complete it, give the parameter of context and check if instance equals to null, then initialize the database. So how we will create it? So this step is very important. We have to return the instance like room dot get database builder, pass the context, and then this database helper class, and the last is the name of this database. So my application name is user memo, so I am writing over here user memo app or db, and then build. But after that I realized that I have to add another thing. Let me just return the instance and then again add a database over here, in which we will pass the entities that we have created in a bracket. So first is user class, and the second is node class, and then we have some views, but we are not working right now on views, so we will just leave it as blank. So now what I will do is over here add the schema and then add the version. We'll talk about the schema later. Now summarize this method, and now we have to just add another flag over here, which is allow main thread transaction. So it will allow us to create and do transaction on main thread. Now we will create a DAO, user DAO, another class, and annotate it with DAO. After that, in this class we have to write some queries. So step by step, first of all, what we will do, we will add an insert query over here. And here is how to write it: public void and insert, and we have to insert the first thing is user, because we are on user DAO. So here is an object of user, and then you can write multiple queries over here of like getting or fetching email address or anything from here. So the next is writing over here a query: select all from user where email equals to email. Here I am giving the curly brackets, but I have to just use the round brackets. We'll correct it later, and just want to show you how it will use its parameter, or how we will call these password and email, which is mentioned inside the brackets. So now and password is equal to password. So it's giving us an error, which is this. So just add over here public user. In return we will get user data, so we have to just give the return value the user object, and then validate the method name, and then we will add over here the parameters. So we write this query. Now it's giving the error over here, the brackets are not correct, so we just use it as a not curly bracket but the round brackets. So let's just replace them like this, and it's now giving the error because the parameters are not available in this method over here. So let's just add email parameter and password parameter. Now I will just copy, and so now we will add over here a method of delete, in which we will delete a user, for which we have to use a method over here public void, and because we are deleting the user, so we will use delete keyword. You can write anything. After that, just pass the user parameter and the method is completed. So after this we will create another query over here, in which we will get the email if the email exists. So I am using this query, just copy paste and remove this till password, and now just removing this also, and just change user exist, and now the user exists. After that we will go to an entity class and differentiate that unique email should be unique. So what we will do is create inside entity indexes. Indexes are known as we are giving some unique constraint to some table. So now we have to just give this table name and unique equals to true. Now this email, user email, is now a unique constraint, and we cannot create another email if we already have existing one in the table. So after that we just give it as email and change the to a string, and now our DAO is completed. The next is user DAO, the node DAO, and you can create it by yourself, or you can skip this process as well. So I'm just copy pasting everything and annotate DAO and just change the class into interface, paste it, and just using it as node, because I don't have too much queries, so I'm just using the listing of nodes. So I'll just erase this and get all the record from node and change this into nodes listing, and that's it. Here is the list of nodes from where we can find all the nodes that we have created. We have insert method, listing method, and the delete method. Just change the user to node over here, and our database is created now. So now I'm just renaming the variables and it's completed. So hope you will like this video. If you like this video, give thumbs up and do subscribe. Bye bye.